Gentlemen, do me a favor, hang out somewhere for the rest of the night. Hang out somewhere for the rest of the night.
You're playing at your bad, you're playing at your tough. But why you a run so when things are get tough? The innocent are ball, so the guilty must pay. Tis long overdue, now it's your judgment day. You're running all about.
Yeah, so Chief, so we just had another arrest brought into the Winnebago. So makes a couple for the night so far. But tell me about the guy with the had like a red shirt and red
right,
and black.
He was on King Street at the corner of King Cross. And as we drove by, he watched the car really hard. My partner recognized him as a known drug dealer. He's been involved in other drug-related crimes, I guess. And so we came around the block, and he obviously saw us because he began walking from where he was situated. Other units had seen him there earlier in the night, but I guess after seeing a couple of units pass, he thought it was time to leave. So we approached him, we began talking to him. He started acting really fidgety, so we patted him down just for officer safety, make sure he didn't have weapons. And I could feel obvious controlled substance in his pocket. And when I went to look in his pocket, he tried to take off running on us, but we were able to hold him and get him handcuffed. He didn't resist the handcuffing. And so we brought him back and to do a thorough search here in the Winnebago, and ended up that he had ecstasy on him as well. So so he had some marijuana and some ecstasy. Obviously he was selling, so he's going to get hooked up on possession with intent to distribute. That seems to be what we're getting a lot tonight is simple possession with intent to distribute. But the night's still young. Hopefully we're going to get a gun before the end of the night. That's what everybody's looking for. So.
All right, good. And we're going to go walking down the streets of Christiansted with a couple of officers right now.
Yep, that's correct. We got a lot of people doing foot patrol right now in Christiansted. So.
All right. Thanks, Chief.
All right.
Come, let's start cleaning up. Let's go. Start cleaning up. Come, start taking up. Everything here. Ah, this garbage you see here? Go in that bin over there. Let's make it fast. Big man, come, start cleaning up. All this is our garbage. Let's go. Clean up all this up. I come. Okay, alright. Me?
You got some light?
Yeah. The entire shanty needs to be clean. Since you guys are parking here,
we were just here.
Listen to me. The entire shanty, because the reason why you guys are here with beverage, I don't know if I illegally selling beverages. Hold on. Listen to me. Don't finish. Now stop me before you finish.
Okay.
You guys have beers here. Openers here, bottles all over. It's just we selling drinks.
Okay.
You want to be charged for selling something you don't have a license for?
Okay.
All right. This is a public shanty. For kids and every school, children, everybody hang out here.
I understand.
So because of the fact that you had this group of individuals here in the music jamming, that means you had a private party. Am I wrong or right?
Oh, you're right.
Thank you. So take your time. I want this whole shanty clean up. So take your time. We'll be here. We ain't going no place. So go ahead.
You have $1,000 with you?
Yeah. I can't.
Oh, no, you gotta have cash.
No, I could get it.
Maybe your girl could come.
No, she can't get today. I could use the ATM and get it.
See if we can work something out for you.
Okay, we're here at the Water Gut Shanty, and again, we found some people here who are drinking, partying, playing loud music in a residential area, but we also found somebody with some marijuana. Is that true?
Yes, it is.
Can you tell me a little bit about what you found, how you found him, and how much you found on him?
As you know, this is a known area for selling narcotics and illegal activities. We saw this individual walking. As soon as he identified us and saw us, he began walking away. So I approached him, asked him, "Sir, is this your vehicle?" He said, "Yes, that's his vehicle." I said, "Is there anything in your vehicle I need to know about?" He hesitated. As soon as he hesitated, I kind of knew that he had something in his vehicle. He says, "Well, I don't, but you can check my vehicle." So go ahead and search the vehicle, and we found some marijuana. So he's been arrested for simple possession.
Okay, so he's going to go into the Winnebago and get booked in there?
Yes.
All right, thanks, Officer Wright. No, we're here at the Water Gut Shanty, and I had this young man here. He's agreed to be on Cops VI, you know, and you were having a little party and stuff like that, entertaining some friends and stuff like that. But when we came over, the police asked you to turn down the music because, you know why?
Yeah, I know why.
Why?
It was so loud. It was loud.
It's loud, and you're in a residential area.
Sure.
And I see you guys did a really good job because just a few minutes ago, this whole place was really dirty. So,
True.
So what did you guys do?
We cleaned. It's all good now. So
It's all good. So you guys are going to come back here and party again?
I don't think so. Not me.
All right. Thank you very much. Hi, Corporal Williams. We're here in Christiansted, and this is Easter weekend, so we're doing some DUI checkpoints. Can you tell me a little bit about how the DUI checkpoints is done, how you stop the vehicles, and how your night has been going so far?
Okay, well, so far it's been going pretty good. We've been stopping every 6 vehicle, checking for DUI. We're also checking for violations, any violations, and we're doing them. So far it's been going pretty good.
Okay. Have you you had some arrests last night for DUI? I understand. Tell me a little bit about that, like the degrees of, or did you just stop them at the checkpoints, or did anything unusual happen?
Well, they stopped them at the checkpoints, and they make contact with the driver. If they detect any odor of alcohol beverage on their breath or whatever, they will give them a field sobriety test. If they fail that test, then they automatically be placed on arrest. After the field sobriety test, then we give them, read a consent form for them to consent to take the breath test.
Right.
Once they consent to that, then we test them and see how much the alcohol was in the system. And
Because then the public needs to know that you can be sent to jail on a field sobriety test, and that's basically the officer's observations and what else?
observations, blurry, red eyes, the staggering, swaying,
Right.
slurred speech.
Right.
So we look for all those clues, and then after that day we give you the test, and if you fail it, you're under arrest.
Okay.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11,
Sir,
12.
9. Turn around, take another 9 steps.
Oh, 9.
Yes, sir.
9, 10, 11, 12. Well, actually had a few drinks.
Next step from here.
What's your preference with your vehicle? You want this guy to drive your vehicle?
Yes, he went. Let me talk.
Marshall.
You have the right to talk to your lawyer and advise him before we question you. I'll have him with you doing questioning. If you cannot afford a lawyer and want one, a lawyer will be appointed to you by the courts. If you decide to answer questions now without the lawyer present, you still have the right to stop questioning at any time. You also have the right to stop the question at any time until you talk to the lawyer. Understood? I have read this statement of my rights and it has been read to me, and I understand what my rights are. Date, time, and sign for me, please. Date, time, sign.
He's being advised of his Miranda warnings.
And
The date? Doing. No promises or threats have been made to me. No pressure or force of any kind has been used against me. I hereby voluntarily and intentionally waive my rights, and I am willing to make a statement and answer questions. You understood? Date, time, sign. Warning to persons consenting to chemical testing of his blood, breath, or urine for the purpose of determining the alcoholic content of his blood. Chemical testing. A. Any person who drives, operates, or has under his physical control a motor vehicle in the territory shall be deemed to have given his consent to chemical testing of his blood, breath, or urine for the purpose of determining the alcoholic or drug content of his blood, provided that such testing is incidental to a lawful arrest and administered at the direction of a police officer, having reasonable cause to believe that such person has violated subsections 493 of this chapter, and within 2 hours, such person has been placed under arrest of any such violation. Part B. A person arrested under this section shall, prior to being offered a chemical testing under this section, be informed that refusal to submit to the chemical test will result in 1. evidence which may be used against him, and 2, the suspension of your driving privileges. I have read or had this warning read to me, and I understand my rights concerning submitting to a chemical test. You understand? Date, time, and sign.
It's already, so I'm just gonna waive it, whatever it is.
You're just gonna
that's
waive
fine.
it, so you don't want to do it.
No, because the receipt of failure,
Right.
it doesn't make much sense to me.
You understand that if you doesn't do this, that your driving privileges will be taken away. Understood?
Me say don't run, don't hide the wrong that you doing, but the judge a lie. Don't run, don't hide. You do the crime, so you must pay the time. Whoa, whoa, you're playing at your bad, you're playing at your tough. But why you will run so when things are get tough? The innocent are ball, so the guilty must pay.
This is a whole cell. We fit about 4 or 5 people. So since he refused, place him back in hand restraints and put him back here. Once he fails the standardized field sobriety test, then we can bring him and submit him to the chemical test.
Okay. The officer also mentioned something about his driving privileges. Can you talk to
Okay. According to the code, once we do an affidavit swearing to the fact that he refused, according to the law, that is prima facie evidence that can be used against him in court. A preponderance of the evidence will show that he refused, therefore the judge now would suspend his driving privileges for at least 90 days, starting 14 days from the date of advice, or 14 days before the arraignment, whichever comes first.
We're going to explain the 3 tests, so you can start already.
Okay, there are 3 field sobriety tests that are done for sobriety. One is the horizontal gaze test, the other is the one-leg stand, and the last one is the walk and turn. Mr. Fleming, I did the 3 tests on him, and he failed all 3. So.
Tell me about the first test. You said the horizontal gaze?
Yes.
How does that work?
That's when we ask the individual to hold their head still and follow a tip of a pen or anything with a point. Make sure that back and forth, that's correct. Make sure they have smooth pursuit and make sure there's not choppiness in their eyes. Okay. So, and which he did had.
Yeah, that's not something that you can.
You know, a sober person, your eyes will be smooth and it won't, shift left or right.
Right, and it's not something that you can actually control.
No, it's definitely something that's, I guess you could say, involuntary.
Yes.
You can't stop it regardless. So.
Okay, so the second test that you said was?
It's the one-legged stand.
And
that's generally, you ask the individual to choose a leg, choose a leg, and you ask them to stand with the toes facing upward. And count 1001, 1002 until you tell him to stop, in which he couldn't perform the test because he couldn't count and do the one leg at the same time.
We couldn't do the 2 things at the same time. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the third one was the
walk and turn.
The walk and turn.
And that one, it's pretty straightforward, just kind of walking heel to toe for 9 steps.
9 steps.
Turn around and walk 9 back. Right. But the individual, he kept counting.
He was going
up to 20.
Up to 20.
And so
he couldn't really understand the directions.
Yes, that's correct.
So I think that even his he was impaired.
He wasn't coherent at all to understand.
So his senses were diminished.
Yes.
Basically a bad person to be on the road.
Definitely.
Well, I really thank you, and thank you because, probably avoided an accident out there tonight. So thank you, Officer Marshall. Thank you.
And you're going to hold on to this tube, and you're going to blow into the tube continuously until I tell you to stop. Okay? I got to hear you blowing through the tube. You got to blow into the tube until I tell you to stop.
Nice to you.
Okay?
They're nice to you, Kai? They're nice to you? They're nice to you? She didn't what? Oh, well, you can take care of yourself.
Move this hand.
Right?
Now you blow.
Can't you?
Keep blowing, blow, blow, blow.